fought back yet again. He filed a lawsuit against the New York Times, which he had Brian Friedman on to discuss, saying it had done a defamatory report on Blake Lively's claims that she was allegedly harassed by this guy when they shot the movie. It ends with us.
All of that relevant info that Justin's put out and the evidence and the context and her using sexy, et cetera, all can come to play. I mean, we have now evidence now where Ryan Reynolds is seemingly admits that his 7-year-old daughter was cast as Kid Pool, saying, suck Wolverine's D off. And then the director's laughing. Yeah, she didn't even really want to do it, and we forced her to do it, and there were 400 versions of it. Many of us are watching that going like, my God, that's horrific. But sexy was the line for Blake.
In that claim, they said the Times distorted the truth. They did not report text messages which were full and complete, which showed a very different meaning than the snippets that Blake Lively put.
Brian Friedman was asked about it by Harvey Levin on TMZ, and he said, well, we don't know. We'll see which way this case goes. And I'm going, what do you mean you don't know? That would be like the very first thing I would do. I would depose Taylor Swift against Blake Lively because first and foremost, no matter how you feel about Taylor Swift, you have to recognize and respect.
In this lawsuit with Blake Lively, because I think she's horrible and she's made up this whole thing because she tried to steal his movie. But he is the most overly feminized man I've had to endure in recent history. Everything he says is self-flagellating over the fact that he's a man. But he's, to me, is sort of the embodiment of what happens when you totally emasculate a man. And then she continued, she took that stiletto and stuck it in his heart when he was down there self-flagellating, being so sorry for anything having to do with his testosterone.
The entertainment world has been buzzing with whispers, speculation, and outright shock. For months, we've watched with bated breath as the legal drama between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively unfolded. Just when we thought we had a handle on things, the narrative twists and turns like a Hollywood thriller. Remember those reports that a settlement was off the table, with both sides digging in their heels? Well, hold on to your hats, because things have taken a sharp U-turn, and now the possibility of a settlement is back on the table, stirring up even more chatter. It's been a whirlwind of legal maneuvering, public statements, and a healthy dose of celebrity shade. Justin's team isn't backing down, even after a judge dismissed his eye-watering $400 million lawsuit against Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist Leslie Sloan, as well as his $250 million suit against the New York Times. His lawyer is making it clear, this isn't the final act. But Blake? She seems to be basking in the glow of what she's calling a total victory.
So if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you and then we could...
So, what's really going on behind the glitz and the legal jargon? Let's dive into all the recent developments and get to the bottom of this captivating saga. Blake Lively's public post-dismissal stance. Blake Lively certainly isn't shying away from the spotlight. This past week, she stepped out at a Tribeca event, radiating confidence after the news broke about the dismissal of Justin Baldoni's countersuit against her and other parties. It's clear she's taking this as a definitive win, and she wasn't shy about sharing her feelings on social media. We previously talked about her Instagram story, where she posted a powerful statement. She wrote, "Last week, I stood proudly alongside 19 organizations united in defending women's rights to speak up for their safety. Like so many others, I felt the pain of a retaliatory lawsuit, including the manufactured shame that tries to break us. While the suit against me was defeated, so many don't have the resources to fight back. I'm more resolved than ever to continue to stand for every woman's right to have a voice in protecting themselves, including their safety, their integrity, their dignity, and their story. There are protections out there. Check out some of the incredible organizations below for resources and information. With love and gratitude for the many who stood by me. Many of you I know, many of you I don't, but I will never stop appreciating or advocating for you." This post, a clear declaration of her stance, painted her as a champion for women's rights, using her own experience to highlight a broader issue. It was a strategic move, positioning her not just as a celebrity defending herself, but as an advocate. However, it's important to remember that this legal drama isn't over just yet. Justin's legal team has until the 23rd to present a new plan of action, meaning this victory might be more of a temporary reprieve than a definitive end. Justin Baldoni's legal team fires back. Just as Blake was celebrating, Justin's lawyer, Brian Friedman, broke his silence. On a Tuesday in June, Friedman spoke to People magazine, pushing back against Blake's celebratory tone. In a statement obtained by People, Friedman asserted, "Lively and her team's predictable declaration of victory is false." He didn't stop there, adding, "This case is about false accusations of harassment and retaliation and a non-existent smear campaign, which Miss Lively's own team conveniently describes as untraceable, because they cannot prove what never happened. Most importantly, Miss Lively's own claims are no truer today than they were yesterday, and with the facts on our side, we march forward with the same confidence that we had when Miss Lively and her cohorts initiated this battle, and look forward to her forthcoming deposition, which I will be taking." Friedman also expressed gratitude for public support. "We are grateful for the organic show of support from the public and for the dedication of the internet sleuth community who continued to cover the case with discernment and integrity." Legal experts seem to agree with Friedman's cautious tone. According to People, legal professionals are advising Blake not to pop the champagne just yet. They point out that there's still a lot of trial court proceedings ahead, including potential amendments to the pleadings. Gregory Dahl, an attorney and partner at Dahl in Los Angeles, who is not involved in the case, told People, "As all litigators know, sometimes you win everything at trial only to see your case reversed on appeal." He acknowledged that the decision is undoubtedly a blow to Baldoni, but stressed that the case is far from over. He reiterated a common litigator's mantra: "One thing I've learned many times over as a litigator is not to celebrate too early." Dahl further emphasized that despite this recent development, a settlement is still highly probable. "This case is still highly likely to end in a settlement," he said, asserting that this was true before this decision and after. He also addressed the tactical implications, asking, "Does this affect Lively's leverage in settlement negotiations? Yes. Is Baldoni going to fight back, including amending his complaint to try to make the tortious interference and implied covenant claims stick? Yes. The door opens for revisions, professional sabotage, and breach of contract. This is where things get really interesting for Justin's case." Dahl explained that Baldoni will likely get another shot at pleading two key claims. The first involves the accusation that WME clients Lively and Reynolds threatened to get their agency to drop Baldoni as a client. WME has denied this, but it's a significant point of contention because losing agency representation, especially from a powerhouse like WME, can seriously derail a career in Hollywood. And Justin was indeed dropped the day after that New York Times article broke, reporting on Blake Lively's initial complaint against him. In his December lawsuit, Justin specifically claimed that during the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere, Ryan Reynolds personally approached his agent at WME and told them to drop him. Justin's team sees this as a calculated move, alleging that Ryan and Blake were using their considerable power in Hollywood to sabotage his career and personal life. WME, however, has denied this alleged conversation and any foul play. Adding another layer to this, Ari Emanuel, CEO of Endeavor, WME's parent company, spoke out on a podcast defending Ryan and Blake. He was quoted saying, "I've known Ryan and Blake for over a decade. They're really incredible people in Hollywood. They have been incredibly successful. People work with them. They've never had any bad mojo out there or treated people badly. They are charitable. They've given tons of money away." He continued, "If what is alleged in her lawsuit that would happen on social media is true, just because she complained to the studio that things were unhealthy on set and that he was director and this man was the producer, and they did to her what is being alleged, they're really bad people." This statement from such a high-profile figure certainly adds weight to the defense's side, but it doesn't resolve the core dispute. The second claim Justin might revise involves Blake's contract with Wayfair Studios. Justin's team argues that the contract gave her approval rights over key aspects of the film's production, and they allege she didn't exercise those rights in good faith. We've heard Justin repeatedly claim that Blake tried to take over the entire movie, and, in his view, ultimately did, resulting in a final product vastly different from his original vision. This would fall under a breach of the implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing. His side suggests that instead of using her approval rights to benefit the film, Blake may have used them in a way that harmed the project, perhaps through creative delays, obstruction, or intentional non-cooperation. If these claims are successfully refiled, they could become central to Justin's case as it moves forward. The shifting sands of settlement talk. Just a week ago, Deadline was reporting that sources close to both sides were vehemently insisting there was no chance of a settlement. Now, as we've heard from legal sources talking to people, a settlement is highly likely. This dramatic shift in perspective is a testament to the unpredictable nature of high-profile legal battles. Deadline previously reported, sources on both sides have insisted to Deadline and the courts repeatedly and vehemently that there is no chance of a settlement. They even painted a picture of high-profile Lively and Reynolds hauled way out of their carefully crafted comfort zone, and WME dumped Baldoni's career now dead in the water in Hollywood. But with the door now open for Justin to revise his lawsuit, many legal observers believe he will amend his complaint to sharpen those two specific accusations: professional sabotage and breach of contract related to the It Ends With Us film. This potential for new legal angles, combined with the immense pressure of a protracted public battle, often pushes parties toward a resolution. Liz and Julia Fox weigh. In amidst all this legal back and forth, the court of public opinion has been active, and some familiar faces have weighed in. When Blake Lively's accusations of harassment and retaliation against Justin became public in December, Justin's former podcast co-host, Liz, issued a statement saying she was stepping away from their Man Enough podcast. She posted on Instagram, "I'm writing to you today to let you know that I have had my representatives inform Wayfarer that I will no longer be co-hosting the Man Enough podcast. Thank you for trusting me with your hearts and stories, for holding space for mine, and for making the show what it was. I will miss you, the listeners, so much. I love what this community created together with every fiber of my being, and that's because of you. As this chapter closes for me, I remain committed to the values we built together. Thank you for being here, for trusting me, and for being by my side for the last 4 years. We all deserve better, and I know that together we can create it. I will have more to share soon as I continue to process everything that has happened. In the meantime, I will continue to support everyone who calls out injustice and holds the people standing in their way accountable." She also added in the caption, "I will miss you. I will be sharing more soon. I appreciate your compassion and patience." I hope this comment section can be a place of support, respect, and kindness, a reflection of the community we've built together. Fast forward to the news of Justin's lawsuits getting dismissed. Liz took to Instagram to ask her followers for boy problems for an upcoming episode of her new podcast, Boy Problems. She then liked a comment that read, "I just saw the funniest boy problem get dismissed by a federal judge in New York, LOL." And she also commented, "Lum Phao." Naturally, everyone assumed this was her taking a jab at Justin. However, she later claimed she thought the comment was about Donald Trump, writing, "This story is fake. I responded to a comment assuming it was about Trump. You know, the guy actively dismantling democracy, because that's the boy problem I think about daily. Every time a conspiracy theory is fabricated about me, I get threats or doxed. Shame on the Daily Mail for printing this trash for clicks. Go touch grass." This clarification, whether believed or not, certainly added more fuel to the social media fire surrounding the case. Meanwhile, Julia Fox has thrown her support squarely behind Blake Lively. The Daily Mail reported that at the Tribeca Film Festival, Fox stated, "I was very happy to hear the news about Blake Lively because I support women all the time. I support women when they're right. I support women when they're wrong. I support women when they're likable and when they're unlikable. I support women that I have nothing in common with." Fox continued, "I support women that I do have things in common with, and I'm going to support Blake." Fox, who has experienced the harsh realities of internet scrutiny herself, expressed her empathy for Blake's situation. "I have seen the way that people have just been so inhumane," she told the outlet. So, there you have it. The latest twists and turns in the ongoing legal saga between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. From initial dismissals to the potential for new claims and shifting settlement talks, this case continues to capture our attention. What do you think about all these developments? Will we see a settlement, or is this just the beginning of another long legal battle? Don't miss out on more updates and behind-the-scenes insights into the latest celebrity news and legal battles. Subscribe now and join our community for exclusive content, breaking stories, and in-depth discussions delivered straight to your inbox.